I feel like I've been lifting too heavy. I don't want to get big. I just want to look shredded and toned. And you've been programming me some shoulder sets throughout the week. I don't want to look bulky.
Yeah, you should probably quit. Okay. Over my career, and for any PT, any coach, anyone who signs people up to gyms, you're gonna hear this concern, the concern of getting too muscular. And the first thing I would like to start by saying is I've seen like 1,000 people trained at this point, and there's been like 2 people that are too muscular, and for what their preferences are. And that was very easy to fix, and it took them like 5 years to actually get there, and it was pretty much an accident. So it doesn't happen. It's not going to be you. The other thing that I would say is it's actually really hard to get muscular. That's actually my job, to get people more muscular. And if it was easy, I probably wouldn't have a job. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, let me actually address the concern, because I think it comes from generally 2 places from my experience. Number 1, it's females not wanting to look too muscular, especially in the shoulders and upper body. And 2, comes from people who play sport that somewhere along the way kind of heard that gaining muscle would be bad for your performance. And I'm going to address both of those concerns. So the first one is the masculinity thing, or too muscular. Now, you grow muscle slow. Usually it's the shoulders that people are concerned about, maybe the traps. If you train your shoulders for 3 sets a week, you will at no point in your entire life look too muscular in the shoulders. Muscle grows slow. And so if you are training your shoulders, you're going to look similar for about a 3 to 4 month period. And so if you find that that's enough, you can just stop there. To maintain your muscle takes very few sets. It might take 2 a week to maintain what you got without growing too much. To grow massive side delts, you might take 20 sets a week for 3 years. It's not an accident that you will get too muscular. It's slow. The next thing I would like to say is that for most people who feel a bit too bulky, a bit too full, it's usually just fat mass that makes you feel like that. If you're kind of low body fat in a lot of key areas, you probably won't feel like you're too large or too heavy in those areas, to be perfectly honest with you. So that should address that. Basically, it's not going to happen by accident. You have to go out of your way to grow that much muscle. You look the same for extended periods of time, so you can stop at any time. It's completely under your control. You're going to be okay with that. Not a concern. For the football players, muscle does not make you slow. And the amount of muscle it would take to make you slow would be tremendous. Think of an NFL player. Heavier, but still incredibly quick. An AFL player, pretty muscular, pretty quick, very good endurance. A rugby player, still quick, very agile, heavy. So, where does this come from? Where does this myth come from? Well, it comes from 2 places. The female version comes from women using anabolic steroids. That's actually quite often testosterone, which is the male expressive hormone. So yes, that will make you look masculine. Don't take anabolic steroids and you won't look like that. For the guys that are training, see, it's not the muscle that's slowing those guys down, it's poor programming. If you only do slow movements where you're very rigid and very tight, and you do that for an extended period of time, then you may become more slow and more rigid if you're not playing sport and then go back to sport. If you're playing sport, you've got enough training that is fast and agile to remain fast and agile and integrate that new muscle mass in as more tissue that can make you fast and agile. Getting too heavy, the only reason that would slow you down is if you're stiffening. You can fix all of these qualities with training. And in fact, if you're training for sport performance, you should be getting faster. You should be getting more springy. These movements should be in the program. If you've got some jumps, if you've got some sprints, if you've got some plyometrics, if you've got some yielding drills, if you've got some strength work, you should be getting more mobile and better moving and faster. That's the point of the training. You're not going to wake up one day and be Ronnie Coleman.